Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we're going along. If you're enjoying the content at all, find it useful, helpful, insightful, entertaining, or you just thought I'll give this some love because I love asexuality. If you don't know who I am Sandra Barnum, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of Asexuality.com and the founder of Asexuality Academy, which is the world's first online training centre and school for asexuals and asexuality. Welcome to tonight's episode. I'm going to be doing a film review. I've already reviewed the film before once, at the very beginning of this year, but I had some technical difficulties with the sound. And it's really important I just share the message of this video because I think it's one that needs to be repeated. And maybe I'll go into a little bit more detail than I might have done on the last video. So if you've never seen this film before, it's called The Greatest Showman. It is literally one of the best ever films in existence, right? And this film is definitely one every single asexual person in the world should watch because it's all about being different. Oh, excuse me, I got something in my eye. It's all about being different. And it's not what you want to be doing, getting something in your eye when you're doing a live stream, really, is it? But it's all about being different, standing out from the crowd and being who you're meant to be, which is the message that I took from this video through the song This Is Me. So it's I'm brave, I'm bruised, I'm who I'm meant to be. Now, if you haven't watched this video already, I am going to do some spoilers. So if you don't want to know the spoilers, please look away now. I still got something in my eye. Oh dear. Beauty of live streaming, huh? So yeah, so anyway, if you haven't already seen this film, go and see it, and if you don't mind spoilers, then you'll be fine with this video. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of this video and tell you why it is so awesome. So this is based on a true story for a start. I always love films that are based on true stories. Obviously there's going to be parts of it that are exaggerated, that are not entirely true, that are changed for musical purposes, etc. But this actual Blu-ray disc, as I watched the other day, I think it's got over 3 hours of bonus footage on there. So I was like watching this for like most of the day, I have to admit. And one of the things I like to do when I feel I'm lacking in energy is just put a movie on, one of those feel-good movies with a really good story that kind of boosts your optimism up, that boosts your confidence up, that boosts your self-love up. And this video seriously does all those things. This film is about so much more than it just being a musical. It is one of the most phenomenal movies you will ever watch in your life. It had a profound effect on me, and I know that the cinemas were absolutely packed out with people just watching it over and over and over again. And it's because of all the magical ingredients that it has. I've actually got the soundtrack to this and it is incredible. I put it on and I feel so good every time I play it. It's just incredible. So P.T. Barnum, played by him who also plays Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, he is in this film. He plays P.T. Barnum, and P.T. Barnum, basically, like I said, it's based on a true story. So he did really own a circus, right? He's retired now from what I saw online, but it's based on the true story of his life. And when he was a little boy, he basically was poor. He had a poor, he was born into a poor family. His family, however, did, according to the film, because I don't know what the real P.T. Barnum's full story is, so I'm just going to tell you the film. I only know it's based on a true story, and that he had a real circus, and the truth about the fact he got oddities, people that are different, to be part of his circus, okay, which is what the story's based on. So in the film, he's poor, he's born into a poor family, but however his dad works for rich people doing I think they're doing like tailoring and stuff like that. I couldn't quite make out exactly what they were doing in the film, what his dad was doing as such, because I was so concentrating on the storyline between P.T. Barnum as a boy when he goes with his father to this house and he meets this older guy who's the father of this girl. And when his father, I think they're supposed to be doing stuff with the shoes as well and things like that, like shining shoes or whatever. But when the little boy P.T. Barnum, the younger version, sees this girl in this rich house, he starts she's learning how to drink from a cup correctly. She's having lessons because it's a really posh house, and she's a girl, young girl, and he's a young boy at this point. And he decides to he decides to start drinking tea. So he makes like this little teacup and handle to drink out while she's being taught how to drink properly out of a proper china cup. He's just made something out of what he's got. It looks like it's something you put shoe shining stuff in, or I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to that. So if you know what it was, please put it down below in the comments if you've already seen the film. I wasn't really paying attention. All I know, he was doing a makeshift cup to like mimic her, and he was pretending to drink tea. And she just found it hilarious. She spat the tea out, and he started laughing. And the posh father told his daughter off and said, "We've taught you better than this." And basically what happened then was the daughter the daughter was called over, and said, "I've taught you better than this." And the father wasn't happy. The boy, P.T. Barnum, the young one, said, "It was my fault, sir. I made her laugh." And the father slapped this guy right across the face, which of course I don't agree with hitting. It's absolutely disgusting. And you shouldn't be hitting anyone. And when you're hitting kids across the face, it's just hideous. So you're meant to really feel like this guy is horrible. And and basically he looks down on the kid. He thinks nothing of him and the kid version of P.T. Barnum. And the daughter escapes through the window and starts talking to the young P.T. Barnum, and together they go off. They go in like this wooded area and like this run down house, and that's when the boy starts talking about all the dreams he had, and that's when he starts talking really about the circus that he's thinking and all the everything that's going to be in his future. When you're a young kid and you've got all those wild dreams and nothing's stopping you. That's what the Million Dreams song is about from the film, which comes at this point in the movie. And so it's really, really good. I'm blown away, like I don't think anyone should lose that ability to dream. I think you should have that all your life, even as an adult. In fact, more as an adult, because you can choose in an adult way to still have those dreams and to set goals and work on those dreams and make them come true. My love of writing, as you know, is my hugest passion in my life. And to write books for asexuals, as well as write books in general, is just amazing for me. And I do, take an idea and I do change it into a book, a physical product book. And to be able to do that and make other people's dreams come true by having something like the asexual books, for example, that you can really relate to and that literally change people's lives. I mean, I've had quite a few people saying their life has been changed literally by this book, because they didn't think they could be themselves. And when they've read this, they know they can, which is really what this film's about as well, which is why I love it so much. It's about, being who you truly are. And when you think you don't fit into the world, you actually can make the world your own. And you can, you can chisel a little place out of it, of the world of your own, do you know what I mean? And make it your own, and not just a little piece, but make your dreams come true. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so that's why I love the film so much. And so anyway, it goes on about all these dreams. She's sent off to finishing school by her father, being disciplined, and young P.T. Barnum keeps in touch with the girl throughout the fact when she goes to finishing school, and he's like begging for bread and stuff because his father dies, so it's quite sad. And then he hears this advert, this verbal advert, because it's set back years ago. So this guy's going, oh, we've got this job on the railroad and it's amazing and you can earn loads of money, you get free accommodation, blah blah blah. So he's meant to disappear to that, and then you see the adult Barnum come through years later, and he goes and gets the girl of his dreams from the household, the rich household, with the dad who doesn't approve, and takes her with him to go on, basically, you know, to become his wife, basically, and to go and live with him and have kids with him. And the dad says, oh, she'll be back when she's tired of your type of lifestyle, you know, because she hasn't got, basically, you know, his lifestyle's all dreams and no money coming to fruition at that point. So this is what kind of spurs him on to then bring his dreams to reality. He's made redundant from his job, and so he loses his job. By this time, he's got the woman of his dreams. He's married. He's got 2 children with her. And this is the one he met as a child with the strict father. They live together, and he has this idea that he wants to have this shop, like, it's like it's a museum, sorry, of curiosities. He goes and buys it with a loan, a £10,000 loan, and he got the loan by basically taking some paperwork from his old job and saying that this sort of capital was his when it wasn't. It was his old boss's jobs, basically. Old bosses at his old jobs, basically. And anyway, so he takes this £10,000 loan out. He buys this museum of curiosities, and the thing is, they're all stuffed animals. And he tries to sell tickets, and it doesn't work because people don't really want to see stuffed animals. They're boring. They're nothing different. And so his daughters say, look, Daddy, you have to have things that are not stuffed. You know, you have to have real people in there. You know, that you know, that will be, you know, outstanding, basically, and that really, you know, that really stand out. And so what happens is that's what he does, and he starts auditioning all these different people from all over everywhere that are different. And it's just wonderful to see all these people come together. So he auditions someone who's a woman, who's bearded, the bearded lady, she's called. He auditions, well, he doesn't even need to audition her, really. He basically finds her at a place of work and says that I want you, you know, I want you, going to be great. And then he has auditions with other people, like has auditions with a guy who has long hair all over his face. Dogman, I think they call him. He has auditions this guy who's like the largest, meant to be like the largest guy in the world, and he auditions all different types of people that are different, you know, to society, especially back then. And you know, the bearded ladies, he finds the bearded lady because they say, oh, I know where someone, these people go, I know where someone is. And that's how he finds the bearded lady, and she's really scared and she's really withdrawn, and she's like, doesn't want to face the world because obviously she's different to everyone else. And I have to tell you, after this film, I watched this film, I did see someone in real life, not fictional life, in real life, in my city, a young girl around 20 years old, maybe not even that old, and she had a beard all around her face. I don't think she was turning into a guy. I think she actually had this condition where the beard grows. It just looked like it was an actual like beard growing. It doesn't look like she was trying to change into a guy. She's very much female, but all around was beard here. And she walked through the Guildhall shopping centre in Exeter with this guy. And so it was really interesting to see that a person's guy, because it's meant to be a real genuine condition where some women do grow beards. And so they can't help it, you know? And so it was just incredible to see that after I watched the movie, you know? And so in the movie, the person who plays the bearded lady, in real life, she hasn't got a beard. But in real life, yeah, she sings This Is Me, which is the major song that the film is known for. In this, in the video, you know, in the movie, she sings This Is Me, and she's such a good singer. And in real life, what happened is this person, she was an actress, an unknown actress for many years. She lived a very introverted life, right? And Hugh Jackman wanted her to audition for the part of of the bearded lady, and she didn't think she was actually going to feature in the film. She just thought she was filling in or something, or saying the lines for someone, and because she was scared about doing something like that. Hi, Naila. And so she didn't want to she was an introvert, and she didn't want to be in the movie. Hugh Jackman actually persuaded her to be in the movie. So although she's not got a beard, her actual real life persona is very it's not similar in the sense of, obviously, the woman ends up having a lot of courage in the video, but it is exactly that, because what happened was the person, like I said, she was an unknown actress before she came to the Greatest Showman film, before she auditioned for it. She was an unknown actress, and she didn't think she'd ever be big or ever have like loads of people watching her or anything like that, you know. And so her own personal story is when Hugh Jackman persuaded her to actually audition for the bearded lady part, and for it to actually be her. She wasn't just reading someone else's line and filling in. He wanted her specifically to, Kiala Settles her name, he wanted her specifically to be in the movie, you know, as the singer of This Is Me. She was like, oh, in the end, she goes, I'll only do it if you can bring me this like alcoholic drink, as a joke. And the next day, like, this, I think it was the director, bought her this bottle of drink. And he was like, we need you to do this, basically. And she did it. And so her life completely changed, because she's a very large lady. Kiala Settles, she's got the most beautiful voice. She's a very big lady. So she's not skinny. She's very, very, I mean, there's bigger ladies than her, but she's very, she, you know, you can tell that she's bigger in body mass than a lot of the average women, right? And so she's always been introverted. She's always kind of had, like she says in the song, she's always like had scars of life. She's always felt like an outsider, I guess, and she's always felt like different. She couldn't be her true self because of her image wasn't the typical Hollywood actress or whatever. And you know, she thought she was always going to be like an unknown actress, and then she finally got the courage to be who she really is, and the power singer that she is, and she finally got her recognition on this movie. And she said in the behind the scenes footage that when she put that beard on, she really becomes the character, and she really becomes as brave as the character in this movie. So really, this character has changed her life in reality as well. Do you see what I mean? It's like a two-dimensional fictional meets fictional meets reality thing that's going on. She's got the fictional bearded lady character that she's playing that's different, that was scared of showing her face to the world, scared of what people would think, scared that she couldn't be who she was because of her facial condition, you know, being different to other people, and what will people say and laugh at her. And so that's the paradox. That's her character on the screen, but her off-screen character is introverted, scared, you know, like quite scared of what people will think of her physical appearance. You know, she's had, I don't know what else has gone in her life, but clearly there's been some stuff where she found it hard to be herself. She thought she'd always be an introverted, unknown actress, and introverted, you know, she stays to herself most of the time. But having to do this means she had to come right out of her shell. She did a lot of singing, appearances without the beard around various TV shows after this. So it really, really changed. And even now she's like in a TV show appearance, she'd be like, oh, I never wanted to do it. He persuaded me. He's so bad, like in a joke, but she kind of means that partly. But, you know, he changed her life, and the movie's changed her life because she's able to come out and be who she was. You know, I'm brave, I'm bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. And that is the whole point of the film. All these people, all these different types of people, they're all oddities. And that's why this film is so important for asexuals to watch, because it's all about being different, not fitting in, not being the norm, and worried about and scared about what people think of them. But then you use it and turn it around to advantage, and you be who you were born to be. And then the world, it might be a bit shocked and surprised, but actually they can't take their eyes off you. You're stunningly outstanding to them because of your beauty and difference, you know. And in the film, there's some parts that are quite tragic when they're basically it's called, like, he's got this circus of oddities because of these people, and then it does get burnt down at one point because not everyone likes people who are different, you know. But in the end, it all comes good because the guy that Hugh Jackman recruits is a posh guy who gets people into singing the opera, you know. So he recruits Zac Efron into the circus, and it's really, really good. There's this one song they do between them when he's trying to recruit Zac Efron, and Zac Efron's like, in the film he plays this character that's a very wealthy background. He gets people to fill out opera auditoriums, and you know, and he doesn't want to go to the circus life initially because he's like, you know, I'm happy with my life. And Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum's like, well, yeah, you can stick with your comfortable, but you know, you can get uncomfortable and live your dreams and get out of that rat cage you're in, basically, because that's what people do. You know, people get taken in so much by society and what's right and you know, what's the done thing, if you know what I mean, that they miss out on their dreams because they're so worried about what people think of them all the time. And basically P.T. Barnum's trying to say to the character that Zac Efron plays that, you know, you're like a caged animal where you are. You might have the money, you might be getting loads of people into the opera, but you're not happy, not really, not truly, because there's no excitement there, there's nothing different there. It's just the same thing over and over again, like a hamster wheel. So come with be with me in the circus and dream, basically, and live a little bit wild, you know, where everything's not in your comfort zone, where things are very, very different. And so he does that, and it's actually the character that plays Zac Efron in the end that saves the day, because he's been putting his share of the money aside, the 10% he agrees with P.T. Barnum in the end, and to come on board with the circus. Whereas this guy P.T. Barnum, he's instead of settling for the circus and being happy with what he's got, his wife and 2 kids, what happens is this opera singer, the Zac Efron character, introduces him to this opera, the Queen. He's supposed to visit the Queen in England, and this opera singer, he decides, oh, she can be my ticket to fame. For P.T. Barnum does, my ticket to fame, and people stop laughing about me because he becomes very self-conscious that people are mocking him because he's leading the circus of oddities. And so because he's got this thing from when he was younger, being poor, everyone looking down on him, particularly his wife's mother and father, he feels he has to keep proving himself that he can be rich, that he can be wealthy, he can give everything to his wife that she's ever wanted, that he can like be better really than her parents and have the wealth they had, but more besides, and give her everything she needs. So, you know, it's kind of like he's so hurt by what her parents say that he has to keep pushing himself. And so he ends up taking this opera, leaving the circus in charge, leaving the character played by Zac Efron in charge of the circus, while he goes off with this opera singer woman, which is there, and he goes touring the world with her. And so this guy who did bad reviews of the circus reviews the opera, and it's supposed to have rave reviews, and he's touring the world with her, and he leaves his wife and kids behind with Zac Efron, who plays a character, you know, who's in charge of the circus while he's away. And as he's away, people expect P.T. Barnum to be there at the circus. So the circus ends up getting more and more people trying to revolt against it, and more people, you know, like trying to cause trouble, which is what leads eventually to the fire. And it's really bad because she falls in love with him, and he's got wife and kids at home, and then he almost, like, you know, he didn't fall for her, which, you know, but he wanted everything that she could give him, all the fame, all the fortune, because her voice is supposed to be exquisite. So he got paid really well, but he took out this huge loan, and so he didn't get in profit to the 41st show of her singing. But because she fell in love with him, she tries to kiss him, and she's sat on her own with him, and she's basically trying to get near him to kiss him, and then he realizes what's happened, and oh my god, I've got to go back to my wife. And then she's like, oh well, all you wanted me for the money, you didn't care about me like I thought you did, because she thought he was in love with her too. And he has to go back to his wife, and she's like, well, he's like, well, you have to finish the show because I'll be out of pocket, I'll be ruined. And she's like, well, you should have thought about that, sooner, because you're wrecking other people's lives because of your own selfish desires, basically, because all he cared about was getting money and status and power, because he was trying to all the time impress his wife's parents, whom, as a little boy, don't forget, the father slapped him across the face and made him out that he'll amount to anything. So he's trying to like rectify that all the time. But his wife and kids are happy with who he was at the circus. They don't need this, like person who's like, halfway around the world with this other woman. And anyway, what happens in the very final time that she says she won't do any more for him, and he'll be ruined. But she does this one last opera show where she's nearly in tears over it because she's in love with him and he's not. And she purposely kisses him in front of all the cameras so that when he gets back to his wife, basically she finds out about the kiss and thinks he's had an affair. And also, he's not been honest because he took a loan out to send this woman all around the opera, all around touring the world to do this opera. He took a loan out of their house so that when he gets back, not only does she think he's had an affair, the house has been repossessed because he couldn't, afford to pay her because she didn't carry on doing the shows. So she goes back to live with her parents, with the kids. And that's when the circus. So she decides she's not doing any more opera anymore. And that's when the circus is caught alight because these people come in and start fighting in there. And it all gets out of hand. And so it's really, really tragic. But the very, very end, when it's burnt to smithereens, like I said, the character who plays Zac Efron, he's actually put his share. The character who plays Zac Efron, the character played by Zac Efron, I should say, not playing Zac Efron, but the character played by Zac Efron, and P.T. Barnum, gave a 10% share to. He actually took his share out all the time while P.T. Barnum was off basically with his opera singer. And so, although P.T. Barnum can't get a loan to put the circus back, the character, Zac Efron, who plays the character who was looking after the circus while he was away, he basically uses his share of the money to pay the circus workers and to make the circus happen. They buy a tent. They don't need a building. They buy a tent, which is why how it ends up being a proper circus, like in a tent like it is these days if you have a circus usually. And so it was just, and the last song is all about that he realized what he got, and he's got everything he needs right here and now, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and sometimes you just have to realize what's important to you and that you can have everything you want right here, right now, in the moment, and he has to go to dad and basically get his wife back, so and the kids back. But he realizes he's made a mistake and that the circus people are his actual family, because throughout the film people are saying you're a fraud, you're only just using people who look different, who are oddities for your own, to line your own pocket, basically. The reviewer who comes to see his circus show says that about him. People like, you're such a fraud. But the guy is very good because P.T. Barnum at one point says to the reviewer, well, you review films, but you review performances, yet you can't actually enjoy the performance because you're too busy reviewing it. And so, and when was the last time you actually enjoyed something you reviewed? And doesn't that mean you're a fraud because you're basically faking enjoying performances because you're too busy critically reviewing them basically all the time. So yeah, it was very, very interesting. There's lots of details intricately woven. There's a love story between Zac Efron's character and Zendaya, who's becomes a really important part of the movie. Zendaya plays a character who's a trapeze artist who's coloured, and so there was a lot of racial discrimination back then. So that's why they've put her together with Zac Efron's character in the film, because Zac Efron is also a bit like P.T. Barnum going through a transformation of his own, where he is having to go against his parents, who are posh, stuck up, basically don't agree with him being with someone that's not his kind, that's coloured, basically. And so at the beginning, Zac Efron's character is basically, oh, I can't, I'm worried about what my parents think. And by the end of it, he's like, he doesn't care. He just wants to be with the girl he loves. And I think it's just such a very, very intricate, heartwarming movie. You've got to go and see it if you've never seen it before. It's just, get it on disc or whatever. It's just an incredible film. It's because, the main story, the main kind of crux of the story is to always dream and dream big. And you can make your own wishes and dreams come true. You can get it. But once you've got it, hold on to it. Don't go around doing all these other things, because if you go around doing these other things, they just distract you and get in the way of what really matters to you, what's important to you in the first place. So don't do something for profit, fame, and money. Do something that makes a difference in the worlds and lives of other people that you really care about, and that is enough. And that's all you need. You don't need to get so big for your boots when you become rich and famous that you literally don't care where you come from anymore. Do you know what I mean? Me and my boyfriend held hands, and he gave me a flower bracelet he made me. Oh, that's really sweet, Naylor. That's really beautiful. I want to see that movie. Love the song, love Triangle. The movie, in a way, describes my life, trying to find a place where I can be myself and trying to find myself. Yeah. It's really good. I mean, there isn't really a love. Well, yeah, there is a love triangle, I guess, with the opera singer, but it's because she's delusional. She's a bit delusional, thinking he loves her, and he doesn't really love her. He's just, I think he is a bit. I don't think he loves her, but I think he is a bit infatuated with her at one point. But yeah, but he loves his wife because he's known her since childhood. But yeah, I mean, I put a link last time because I did this movie review at the beginning of the year, but I had a problem with the sound, so I wanted to do it again because I think the message is so important. And I will put the link down below again, that you can get it. It's an affiliate link, just so you know. So I affiliate link means I get a few pennies if you click through my link and order it. That's what it means, basically. May get a few pennies. It doesn't mean you have to. You have to order it within a certain amount of time. Like, click through the link and when put it in your shopping cart, within 24 hours, if you buy it, then I get a bit of pennies for it, theoretically speaking, or cents if you live in the USA. But yeah, so because I'm an Amazon affiliate, so I usually share Amazon links, but I get stuff from Amazon myself, so why not? The world doesn't work that way, so change the world. Leverage TV show quote. Yeah, the world doesn't work that way, so change the world. Yeah, it's exactly. I use a quote. What's a quote that I use quite a lot? The people who believe the people who believe they can change the world are the ones who usually do. Yeah, it's so true. Like, I actually believe that I can help change the world where asexuality is concerned. I just do. I know that. That's why I'm relentless in doing stuff for asexuals. I'll never stop. It's inbred into me. I didn't know that obviously years ago, but I do now, because obviously I'm working on my second book for asexuals. Well, actually, at the moment, I'm working on my asexualized asexual meetup mastery course, which is just a humongous course, premium course. This is a paid for course because obviously it's a lot of hours work. I've got someone who wants to buy it, is waiting to buy it. It's like I did an asexual meetup talk, 45-minute talk, free at the university, it was a business university. My voice is going to go again, so I'm going to have to go in a minute because I've still got problems. My voice keeps going. So I'm going to have to rest it in a minute. But yeah, it was a business university in London. We did the UK Asexuality conference last year, and I was a speaker, and I did a 45-minute talk on how to arrange an asexual meetup and did Q&A at the end. So that's free. And then for anyone who wants more in depth, I'm working on asexual meetup mastery. It's taking me ages. There's so many hours of video footage. I put a little video up from my phone showing behind the scenes of one video today, and you can see the amount of editing I've done, the amount of video clips. I mean, there must be at least 50, I think. It's just like for one 12-minute and 42-second video. It's just crazy. Do you know what I mean? There's already over 24 videos on there. It took me hours. Personally, you can't dream through life. You have to wake up and live. in reality? Me. Who made your cars, light bulbs, planes, and cell phones? Realists? No, the dreamers built them. You are so true, Naylor. I totally agree with you. Everything is possible. You know, people will say, oh, it's impossible, but it's not possible. I love the fact that when people say the word impossible says I'm possible, which means anything's possible. And it's exactly who invented the light bulb. You can't even see it, like electricity. You can't see it really. Well, you can obviously if it's like sparking, but a lot of the time you can't see electricity. You just know it's there. Do you know what I mean? You can't see time. You know it's there. Well, time's a bit of an illusion anyway. But you know what I mean? I totally agree with you. Like, you know, these people who say things can't be done, it's rubbish. I don't believe anyone can do anything if they put their mind to it, set targets, set goals, and achieve it. I know I'm achieving stuff. Do you know what I mean? However long it takes me. I mean, these asexual meet and mastery calls I've been working on since September. It's hours and hours of editing, and you know, it took me hours to actually make the thing. There's over 5 hours footage in the first place. But I'm determined to finish it. But it is, I mean, I've done 5 videos. This is my 5th, this last one I talked about 12 minutes, 42 seconds. The last, like, it's one of 5 videos today. And I've still got over 2 hours of video footage to edit. I edited 40 minutes today in 5 videos. So it's a lot of editing. You know, so, but I totally agree with you, Naylor. This is the whole point I wanted to do this video, because you know, that's what this film's all about, that dream big and that anything's possible. And, you know, when people are kids, they dream and they dream. And then when they're older, they're meant to, oh, we must live in reality. But you can create whatever reality you want. You can make anything happen. You know what I mean? Like if people had told me when I was a kid at school, oh, you're going to be a writer one day, you're going to have your books on Amazon, I probably would have just looked at them really weirdly. But I mean, apparently I've always been good at storytelling, actually doing fictional stories as well, which I don't usually do. But that's what my parents got feedback from my teachers in primary school, that she's really good at writing stories. So, you know, I am good at writing fictional stories as well, but I just don't, it's not where my pleasure lies, apart from for kids. So I don't do that. I much prefer non-fiction. For me, I read non-fiction as well. Apart from kids' books, I read picture books. So yeah, but anything's possible. You know, everything starts with a dream. You know, like even clothes that we wear beat the odds. Exactly. These clothes had to come from someone's initial idea. Do you know what I mean? This dressing gown, this Frozen duvet set. You know, someone had to think up the film Frozen in the first place. Fight the flow of life and make your own path. Well, actually, Naylor, it's really weird you say that, because I know what you mean by fight the flow of life and make your own path, but I also think that you can be in flow with your own life path, if you know what I mean. So, for example, when I listen to my intuition, when I listen to myself and be my own best coach, I'm in the flow of my life I'm meant to lead. But when I don't listen to my intuition and I let other people start going on at me and trying to grind me down, well, I still listen to myself anyway, but it's harder then. Do you know what I mean? But you know, when I'm in flow with my own life, when I'm in flow with my intuition, in flow of what I'm meant to be doing, my life is great. I feel really happy, even though, you know, I might not have the most perfect life compared to other people. I don't compare myself to others, you know. I just love it. You know, since I've been poorly with because my throat does keep going again, so it's not 100% better, and I've got to be very careful with it as it keeps going. You know, like this morning it was going again, going croaky. So I think I've got a bit of laryngitis. From what I've googled online, my symptoms resemble laryngitis, which is from the respiratory infection I had. So it's probably going to still take a while to get better, and I've got to be careful not to overdo it, because I don't want to lose my voice again completely. But yeah, when I'm in flow with my own life, when I'm in one with my soul and my intuition, you know, when I'm listening to it and just going with it and believing in myself 100%, that's when life's really good. And since my throat thing, I've been taking more time out from social media, because I need to get this asexual meet and mastery course done. I've got like about 7 projects that I need to do. And I need to finish about 4 or 5 of them before Christmas. And it's a lot of pressure, but I can't think about them because I was getting overwhelmed before, and that just makes me iller, and it's not helping my health at the moment. It's just, you know, so like 2 days ago, I watched this because today I did a lot of work, but the day before I didn't do any. I was just watching this. which makes, which just made me feel better, because it boosts my energy. When I watch films like this, it boosts my energy so that I can do more work the next day. I'm poor of mental differences. I question myself here and there. People doubt me, but I keep telling myself that I can reach my goals. I can do it. I can make a difference. I can follow my dreams. You can, Naylor. Honestly, I mean, when I was suffering depression years ago, I knew, especially when I was from 15 years of age, that I was born from a special purpose. I've always known that. It's the only thing that kept me going. Really, I must have known it before then, though, because 15's like late teens, but I was depressed still then. But I know then that I was born to work. That's when I knew I was born to work in the media, that the media, I was going to be known in the media. I really was. And so I've always known that I'm born for a special purpose. And that's what made me stay alive, really, knowing that my circumstances would change and I'm better. I mean, I love my life now, despite the fact that it's not, like 100% right. There's things I need to do career-wise, financial-wise to improve it. But overall, I'm much happier in my life. I don't have depression anymore. My health is not the best at the moment, but it's a damn sight better than lots of people. So I'm very grateful and thankful. It's because I've got to keep my stress levels like low and keep resting, because I'm not, like, my voice is not 100%, and I know it's because I've got so many things. You are a star that was sent to Earth to help others. Oh, thank you, Naylor. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I mean, it just makes my day, night, world when you say that and people say that, because I just have this relentlessness in my soul. Like, I can't help helping asexuals. I can't help it. It's compulsory for me. Even like someone said something to me before because they were worried about me. And I know some other people were worried, like, you're doing all this stuff for asexuals for free, and they are worried about me because obviously I can't live off fresh air for free. And they are right in that respect. But, I just can't help doing stuff for asexuals. I just can't help it. It's like, it's a compulsory. Sorry, I just wouldn't feel right if I wasn't doing stuff for asexuals, I just really, really believe specifically my mission is to get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation specifically in its own right. That's what I was born to do. I know that I'm told that's what I'm meant to be doing. Like, don't worry about what other people are doing with asexual stuff. There's loads of other people that are doing and helping. But my specific part and role is to get it recognised as an individual concept, an individual sexual orientation in its own right, so that people recognise asexuality separate to any other sexual orientation on the planet. Because I really need to help stop people getting sexually abused because they think everyone wants sex in this world, and that's what people are being taught from a very young age, and it makes me sick, quite frankly. I respect that some people like being part of LGBT, so I respect their place, but my place in life is to make asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation in its own right, separate to LGBT. They can be, I'm not saying that, they're part of we're part of the acronym, but I still need to get it recognised, because heterosexuals will not understand the difference between LGBT and asexuality if we're just all put together. They will not understand it. Heterosexuals have a very hard time understanding asexuality as is, right? If they just think I'm a lesbian or someone's gay, they're not going to understand, because LGBT, they're still sexually attracted to people. We're not. And I need to change the course of the world about the fact that not everyone wants sex in a relationship. There's a sexual orientation that doesn't need it, doesn't want it in the main. I'm not saying there aren't exceptions, there aren't grey A's and demisexuals, so I still support them as well. But I just really want to make people aware. All kinds will drown out hate. Yeah, it's very important. At the end of the day, there's always going to be light and dark in this world. There's always going to be, good and bad. But I think we've got to focus on, to make life the best it can be, you have to focus on the really, really good stuff. Like, like the other day, I was feeling good when I got out and did a bit of shopping, to be honest with you. And then I was thinking, this is a really good life, and like yesterday I was coming back from food shopping and I literally got these two cars went past me. It was raining really, really heavily. I got soaked and these two cars came past me and they literally went through all this water on the road and it went whoosh right over my head twice, like a big theme park log flume ride, but obviously not as fun because I'm not actually a theme park. And it went whoosh, literally, and came across my head and covered me in a shower twice. And I was just going, this is good. This is good. And when it started pouring down with rain really, really heavy, and I was getting soaked, I'm thinking, this is good. This is nature. This is great. I know I say that I don't like nature, but there's some things that I really do appreciate. And I'm thinking, yes, it's rain. It can give the beautiful flowers some rain. I'm not scared of rain anymore. I used to be years ago because I get prone to chest infections as it is, and obviously with my respiratory lately, it hasn't been great. But I love being out in the rain in some instances because other people are scared of it, and I'm not scared of it. You know, I'm just thinking, the rain. You know, like if I'm indoors all the time, like I am a lot of the time working, you know, it's like the rain on my face. It's fresh. It's like I'm outdoors, I'm living, I'm alive. You know, the rain makes you feel that you're alive. It reminds you that you're alive and that the world is beautiful. And so I had to have a second shower. Like I had a shower before I went out, went food shop, and then I have to have a shower again when I got home because literally all the stuff off the road that the cars had sprayed all over me was in my hair and everywhere. So I had to have a shower before I came on this live stream yesterday again. They can't comprehend the relationships different aces and arrows have and how we even exist and how we're even possible. Yeah, that's the thing with heterosexuals. But, you know, I think we are making progress, but I think the danger that I see is with LGBT, a lot of people that talk about asexuality, they talk about it as being part of Pride, LGBT Pride. They talk about it within that environment, you know, and that's fine. They can carry on doing that's great. They're doing a great job in it. But my specific life purpose, I know I was given this life purpose, is to get it recognised separately in its own right. It just is. So that's not to disclude what they're doing. They can carry on doing that. They're doing a great job, wonderful job, but everyone needs to kind of play a different part and role in getting asexuality recognised. And rather than just, you know, keeping it within the pride thing, I want, and I will make sure as many heterosexuals know about asexuality as possible, because I will be doing things with sexuals later on, which might sound very contradictory, but obviously, you know, I've got experience of relationships and dating that I can help help sexuals with. Yes, they don't really need, well, they do actually need a lot of help because they're clueless. They don't really understand love and different things. But only if I can get through to these sexual people, all these heterosexuals, can I start making a difference for asexuality as well. You know, so when I write books for sexuals, because obviously I'm writing books for asexuals, I got right, my second book's for asexuals. I've got 2 more in the pipeline, but I'm going to be doing some books for sexuals. I know at least one I've got in the pipeline for them. And when I write this book, of course, it's going to be about sex to help them because they haven't got a clue. And I know even though they're heterosexual, then it's not talked about, is it? That's what makes me laugh with heterosexuals. One of the things that they do the most to have sex is they don't talk about it. It's taboo to them a lot of the time. So they don't even know how to do it properly half the time or know what works. You know, they're just clueless, a lot of them. So anyway, the only way I can really get through to heterosexuals sometimes is speaking their language. But if I come with a place of like, this is who I am, I'm asexual, this is a sexual orientation, this is what it's about. I'm doing this book for you, even though I'm asexual. And the reason why is because I've got a unique perspective about sex and love and relationships that other people, which you're traditionally familiar with in other books for heterosexuals, aren't used to talking like, you know, because they don't have that insight and knowledge. So by helping sexuals to understand sex, love, and relationships better, I will be spreading the word of asexuality. That's how I'm going to do it. Because I don't have a problem with talking about sex. I did years ago, but now I just talk out on this channel like it's water off a duck's back. Excuse the pun, if that was a pun. Everything happens for a reason. Bad things have to happen before the good can come. I've had a better outlook on life ever since I realised that. Yes, Naila, it's really important. It's really important. Every time something goes, like, you know, I always ask, what's the reason? Like, what's the reason for this? Like, obviously, I got a respiratory infection recently. What's the reason for that? It means I needed to give myself a whole week's rest. I actually had I had this one bad mental mindset. My mindset in general, I tried to keep good and healthy as much as possible. isn't always easy. But I had one thing in my mind that was repeated over and again that said, I can't rest, I can't rest. And obviously, having the respiratory infection, I had to make myself rest for 7 days. And even now, I still have to make myself rest more because my throat isn't always good. You know, sometimes I'm like going all the time, you know, in the day and stuff like this. And you know, I still sometimes I'm coughing stuff up still, you know. And so the respiratory infection was sent to me to make me rest and also to make me reflect as well, because you need time for reflection. So when you get ill, you can reflect more. And I'm not on social media directly as much as I was before at the moment. I'm taking time out. I can't do both. I can't do that and be doing all this other stuff as well. It's too much at the moment, especially I've got so much going on that I want to get done before Christmas. I don't know how much of it will get done before Christmas. This course will definitely get done. This asexual meetup master course, I will do that no matter what. That's going to be done soon. And the asexual guide to sex, I've got to go back to the people who are being interviewed about that, because I haven't done anything on that for a couple of weeks because I was poorly, and I need to be finishing this course fast because I've got someone who needs it and they're going to buy it off me. So I can't not do that. Do you see what I mean? That's the thing. So the moment I'm working through one thing step at a time, because otherwise I become overwhelmed. My body literally shuts down and it won't do anything, you know? And that's what, I know this is a pattern, and I know other people's bodies can do this, but they don't want to admit it, because I'm very consciously aware of my subconscious. So when I've got subconscious stuff going on, I know about it. It tells me, and sometimes I choose to ignore it, and I shouldn't. So late, I'm listening. So like I said yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was like, well, it's Saturday now. So Thursday, I was literally watching this all day. And I didn't intend to do that all day, but with the bonus features, it was long. And I did some shopping as well, food shopping that I really needed badly for the week. So I didn't just do that. But, you know, I knew that if I watched this, then it would make me do more work today, because I just rest and then do a lot of work, rest and do a lot of work. It seems to be my pattern at the moment of helping me to be more productive, rather than I just think I'm just working all the time. So if I do have some rest, do some, like, this is like powerful stuff, motivating stuff, you can live your dreams, keep going, you know, all that type of stuff going on this movie. Live your dreams, be who you're born to be. It's very, very invigorating, and I find that boosts my energy levels up. But you know, I can't split myself in 55 different ways, which I usually try to do. So I have to at the moment take more time out of social media to get on with doing the stuff I need to finish before the new year, because otherwise I'll never get it done, and it just stresses me out because I've got so many projects and I have to work through every single one and finish them. I'm not allowing myself to start new projects, which is why, you know, the asexual love book, you know, love stories will be done next year. I can't do that this year. I know that now. I've still got you obviously in mind to do one of the stories for it, Naylor. I'll obviously message you at time, but it won't be till probably the later part of next year now. At the moment, I'm saying that because I don't want to say it earlier. The Asexual Guide to Sex book, I'm not going to get done before Christmas. And, you know, I've still got quite a few interviewees I'm working with on their stories. And I've got some people who haven't got the second part of their answers in even yet. So, you know, it's going to be a really good book. I don't want to cock it up. So it's going to be finished. But I just got to take every day as it comes and do the goals and finish the thing that I have to get finished. I have to get all these stuff finished. But if I start, you know, even talking about it now starts making me feel dizzy. And so I just have to like breathe, do one thing at a time, get it done, that thing at a time, get it done. They're not, you know, I'd love to just finish them all at once, but whenever I start thinking about that, I end up doing nothing. So it's not good. So yeah, everything happens for a reason. So I think you always have to ask yourself, whatever happens to you, if you're ill, sick, something happens, goes wrong in your life, you lose something, you always have to just say to yourself, what am I meant to know about this? What is this teaching me? What is this helping me learn? What is helping do? And there's always an answer. There's always an answer. And I always use that. What does this mean? Why did this happen? I don't look at it as a negative thing. I'm like, what's the positive thing about this? And it really, really, really helps me. So I would also say that whatever happens, even the bad stuff, is always meant to help you in a good way. Not just heteros, LGBT plus people even think we're odd. Not all of them, but quite a few I've had lots of run-ins with. Yeah, exactly, Naylor. You know, and someone posted in a hetero ace group. I know you're not hetero ace, but someone posted in a hetero ace group the other day that, you know, that when people of the LGBT community going around, you know, that are sexual, are going around parading, you know, I'm sexy as fuck, excuse the language, do you know what I mean? And talking about sex all the time, it doesn't show what asexuality is. You know, how are people supposed to know what we are? They can't. They just can't do it. They just, you know, if I was heterosexual, because I thought I was for years, and I just saw LGBT, I probably wouldn't even notice asexuality in there, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't even notice. Do you know what I mean? I just still think of LGBT. Not unless I went to Pride Parade, but why would a heterosexual person go to a Pride Parade? This is my point. Heterosexuals don't go to Pride. Well, some do. I've known, you know, some do if it's in their local town or city. They might do it for a laugh, I guess. But in general, you know, a lot of them, they're not just, why would they go to it? It's not really their thing so much, unless they are, you know, like heterosexuals I'm talking about, which is still predominantly the largest population in the world. But I mean, when I went to the UK Asexuality conference last year, right, on the Saturday, it was a Pride. It was not LGBT Pride, right? And some of the asexuals from asexuality.org, they went to march in it. I didn't go and march in it. I was with my camera guy, who's my friend, and we saw some of the parade, but we weren't in it because we got there late and we needed to eat and stuff. And we went later on. We went in this restaurant, which I usually go to, called East Street in London. It's an amazing Thai restaurant. I love it there. And when we were sat down, right, we also met another friend of mine at the time. And it was there was LGBT people in there from the Pride event that come to eat, and this one woman was stood on top of the table and literally took her top up, and she was braless and flashed her boobs everywhere. On top of a table, she was stood up. I was like, I said I don't want to see that when I'm eating to my friends. You know, I don't come into a restaurant to see a woman take her top off and get her breasts out and display them. Do you know what I mean? And I just don't come in for that. It makes me feel sick. I don't want to look at that. Do you know what I mean? Like, keep your clothes on. And so I respect, you know, people. I've got gay and lesbian friends, but I don't want people to not understand what asexuality is. How on earth are people going to understand that asexuals are different? That we don't want needle-like sex on the main? That we don't get an interest in that? If that's what Pride is all about, like being really sexually explicit and showing off your sexuality, even though it's different. I think it's good that it's different, but I think asexuality should be separate to LGBT, and people who are asexual should, like, we can still work with LGBT, but we should be like, if it's on the news, it should be like, oh, these LGBT people and these asexual people, you know, they were helping each other out, rather than that no one knows what asexuality is when we're clumped amongst LGBT. Do you know what I mean? It's just, but you know, there's people who are doing great work within the LGBT community for asexuals, so good for them. Carry on. You know, that's obviously your purpose. I'm very grateful and thankful for the work you do on that, and I appreciate it. Just that my goal and my mission isn't that. Sexual attraction is overrated. Yeah. I mean, I have felt sexual attraction from other people, like guys. I can feel their sexual attraction, but I don't know what it is lately. I think I can sometimes feel it a bit less than I used to from them. Because the last guy I was in the nightclub with, I didn't feel sexual attraction from him. Maybe that's because I just didn't even feel aroused by him when he was kissing me. It's really weird. Nothing, because like kissing can arouse me, but just didn't. It's like really weird. I'm like, I'm not feeling anything at all here. This is bizarre. But I thought, oh well, I still like kissing. And once he was doing my type of kissing, once I'd trained him a little bit in his mouth, then it's fine. Looking forward to it. It'll be worth the wait. Thank you, Naylor. Yeah, the book really will be worth the wait. The Asexual Guide to Sex. I have to say, I do honestly think that it will go down in history and change people's lives. I do. I just the book is amazing. To be honest, I wish I was writing it right now, you know, but I have this Asexual Me Mastery course to finish. I've got to finish it. It has to be done ASAP. So I have to just give my dedication to that right now. Because if I take my focus off it, it just goes, because it's continuous. Do you know what I mean? The videos after videos for the course. If I break off from it, it's a lot harder to get back into it and remember what I've done before. And it's just like my mind gets, you know, like it's exploding. So I'm really, you know, like I'm I'm wanting to finish this course and just trying to do it every day at the moment till I've finished it. And then I've got to get back to the Asexual Guide to Sex book, but I've also got 2 other projects that I really need to finish desperately by the end of the year. Well, really 3, but I can't. I don't know. I'm not going to say I can't do it, but I don't want to make myself ill by thinking I can do all 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all 3, or even one of them is going to be hard, because over the Asexual Guide to Sex book, it takes a lot of focus on that. It's a very, very focused thing. It's a very, I have to get everything right. And the stage I'm at the moment with almost half the people in it is we're nearly at the very end stages of finalizing their story, which is fantastic. There's one person just as I was starting to be sick, she wrote back to me saying, yeah, she's happy with the actual stories. That's the final one that go in the book for her. So, I'm getting them near the end now for a few people, but other half of the people I've still got to chase up with them and stuff, but you can only I want to concentrate on the ones that are almost finished now, but I have to do that after this asexual meetup mastery course, otherwise it's just too much. I can't concentrate on both, and then I end up the course won't end up getting done. I need it because the guy really needs the course, like, desperately, because it literally is a step-by-step how to hold an asexual meetup, intricate details, like what to post, what to say to get people who've never come to your meetups before, complete strangers, different ideas for meetups, but it actually takes you behind the scenes of one of my meetups in great detail, step by step, hands-on, live, as I was posting stuff about it. So it's a real meetup that I was organising for my friend's birthday, actually, this year in October. I did it all leading up to that, and so it's very insightful, like, full on though. But I recorded over 5 hours of video footage for it in the first place. It's a lot. I want to march in Pride. I'll be in fursuit in sport and Therian, other kin flag, with all my colours showing my pride. And yeah, Pride should be more decent. Kids have gone to Pride. I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Naylor, I think everyone should, obviously anyone who wants to be part of Pride, be part of Pride. Be who you were born to be. Do what you're born to do. I just know my specific place in asexuality is getting it recognised in its own right. I just know that's what I have to do. And so, like I said, the people that are already doing Pride stuff, good for them. We need you as well, to make asexuality known within that community more. Anyway, that's good. I mean, at the moment, I've never bin in a LGBT Pride event. I'm never going to say absolutely never, because I don't believe in that, I might change my views. I'm not going to change my view in the fact that asexuality should be still a sexual orientation in its own right, more recognised as that. It is anyway, a sexual orientation in its own right, but it should be more recognised. Like, I'm never going to stop doing that, because that's my life purpose. It's my purpose. It's not other people's, but it's mine. It's very important to society and to the course of history that I do that. But I've got to do other stuff as well besides asexual stuff, because I need more money to pay for asexual stuff, to be quite honest with you. Do you know what I mean? Avon needs to rise up and be publicised accurately in media and film. Yeah. I mean, Avon's doing more and more with LGBT Pride stuff. They're doing more and more and more of it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than asexual Pride, they're doing more stuff with LGBT than ever. They want to do more and more with it, because obviously they feel that LGBT's got a kind of like quite a good standing in the community now, that we kind of need to use that to help promote asexuality. So I do understand it. I do get that. I think any opportunity to promote asexuality is great. I think it's fantastic, but I know my place. But also, it means that I'm going to be working with sexuals to a certain extent in the future to spread awareness of asexuality, which I wouldn't have thought in the past I'd ever be doing again. But it's kind of like I can help sexuals and I can help asexuals at the same time in one. So, and I need to have money coming in so I can pay to carry on doing asexual stuff, basically. Asexual stuff is my dream. It's what I love to do, but I need to do other stuff, and heterosexuals make up a large proportion of the population. So if I'm doing some products and services, I'm kind of going to be needing to do some for heterosexuals as well. As much as I love asexuals more than anything in the world, do you know what I mean? I have to be doing stuff for heterosexuals, because I can't live off fresh air, basically. So, but I can use it to my advantage, because I can promote asexuality, and within the stuff I'm going to do, like, I can bring it to their attention when they would never have heard of it before. And that's how I can spread the word of asexuality on a much bigger scale, because unless I get heterosexuals to understand it and hear of it more and more and more, nothing's really going to change that much. Do you know what I mean? I plan to have ace and arrow stuff in some of my future films and series. Oh, that's cool. We're here to teach others about true love and form better friendships and relationships. Yeah, exactly. Messages of the universe. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have got grey areas, so I can kind of like, and obviously I've been in heterosexual relationships for half of my life, so I can, speak their language to a certain extent. I can talk more sexual stuff with them, which is what they understand. Because obviously, if you're writing books for sexuals, if I'm writing a book for a sexual person, it'll be geared a lot more towards sexual kind of like speech than it would for an asexual book, because I've got to speak their language in order to get them to understand and get them interested in the book. Do you know what I mean? So I already started writing a book for sexuals. So funny. Sorry, I can't do nothing but laugh at the title I gave it. But messages on you. I come from planet Avon. I come in peace to spread word of a better relationship. Oh, that's really sweet. But to be honest, like, there are a lot of, in the sexual realm, there are a lot of guys that aren't good at sex. They are literally rubbish at sex. Heterosexuals, they don't, like, although I don't want sex again in my life, right? There are a lot of heterosexuals that are not going to get a like, heterosexuals want sex, right? They want to be with someone else that wants sex in general, right? But the trouble is, they're not very good at sex. That's their problem. So what they're actually inherently born to, well, they think they're born to do, they're actually not very good at it. So if I help them be good at it, then they'll take notice of me being asexual. I'll be like, how does she know? She's asexual. And they'll be like, oh, she does know what she's talking about. Oh, what's asexuality about then? But what I'm going to do, what I really want to do is the Asexual Guide to Sex book first, because I'll be in a better position actually to say to sexuals, look, I've already got this book published which is about sex, so I do know what I'm talking about, so take me seriously. And then by taking me more seriously as an author, they should take asexuality more seriously. Do you see where I'm coming from? I just know it's right because my intuition tells me all this stuff's right. But it's a big, it's an uncomfortable shift for me, really, because obviously I'm for asexuals and I've got the hardest job ever of trying to do products and services for sexuals while still maintaining everything I do for asexuals, which is my love of my life and what I'm really born to do. But obviously I must be born to help sexuals as well out, because that's what I'm kind of like partly being guided to do. So they think being a virgin is terrible and that they have to get laid to be grown up like. So what, you're virgin, it doesn't matter. They make a big issue out of nothing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're a virgin or not. You know what I mean? I mean, you can do sexual stuff as well if you want to without ever having sex. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't ever have to have actual sex if you don't want to. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't, it's going to be very difficult for me in some ways doing stuff for sexuals. But then, loads of people find me, loads of guys find me sexy and hot or whatever and fancy me anyway and all want sex with me. So I'm like, it's not really going to be much different, is it? Apart from the difference is I'm going to be spreading awareness of asexuality. It should be for the right reasons. Yeah, exactly. I mean, sex really should be for intimacy with your partner, in my opinion, if you want sex. I don't want sex again, personally. I don't have a need for it. I find it boring. I don't want it again in my life. I'm not interested in it. But it means quite a lot to heterosexuals. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I think it's great if people have been virgins and stayed virgins all life. I think it's wonderful. You know, there's a guy who comes on this show now sometimes called Mr. Virgin. The other day he goes, "Oh, this is the best show." I thought that's really sweet. And I love it. You know, I don't mind being with a guy who's a virgin. I'd like that, actually. I don't need someone who's had sex before. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't need them to know what to do in sex, because I don't want sex. And if they don't know how to kiss, that's great, because I can just teach them how I like to be kissed. It's beautiful. It's better than having someone who thinks they know everything, to be quite honest with you. So, you know, I like all the teenager style relationship. You know, when you all the kissing and cuddling, I love that. It's my favourite thing to do in a relationship. Much, and talk. I like talking as well. Talking is so important. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, we do have a unique perspective over relationships that are completely blow the mind of sexuals if they really took it on board, you know, and stopped thinking that we're not telling the truth, or it's rubbish, or it's not real. If they started taking it seriously, it would open up their whole thinking, because, you know, we separate romance from sex. We can separate arousal from wanting, you know, from sexual desire. We can separate all different forms of attraction from each other. It's really a completely different way of life that they just don't see. It's so insightful. Do you know what I mean? They've got a lot to learn, sexuals have, from us, I think. It's mostly guys that freak out over being virgin. Social and gender norms are still trying to create disharmony. Yeah, it's a shame. They aren't a man if they're a virgin. Really? And yes, I've heard people say that, and it's been in movies. But, you know, I think in general it's bad for men and women, because, you know, women, they're always like, you know, with girls from a young age, they're always like, "Oh, have you done it yet? Have you lost your virginity?" I hate how people create a box you have to live in. Yeah, I don't like that as well, Naylor. I don't like that. I'll never be in a box. It's different. I like being different. I don't want to live a normal life. That's why I find it difficult to find a suitable asexual relationship, because I don't want a normal relationship. I don't want to do Netflix and chill. I don't want to be there, you know, doing video games and stuff. Like, there's loads of asexuals that like video games. No offense to them, you know, like whatever they love, grow and do. But it's hard when I'm like a really minority of a minority. I can't sit there living a normal life. You think outside the box too, yeah. It's like I would be bored rigid, you know. Like, I have a nice life on my own a lot of the time, because I feel like my life's very magical. I feel like it's very different. I feel like it's kind of out of this world and planet sometimes. And I feel like it's just not normal. I love that. You know, when I'm brought back to normality, it hurts me sometimes. It's like, oh God, this is just so not me. It's so boring. My version of Netflix and chill: cuddles, food, and movies. Yeah, kiss for me. It's kissing. It'd be kissing, more kissing. Oh, sorry, it's a film finished now. Oh well, next film. Kiss, kiss, kiss. But not with my throat like this. I need to rest my throat. But yeah. But I just don't watch TV. But I do have movie days. So I'll be sat at home watching a movie. Sometimes I have popcorn. Like I said 2 days ago, I watched this. But I don't actually put TV on. I just put it's already on the it's already on the channel for Blu-ray, so the TV doesn't come on, it just comes on for this. So yeah. You know, I just don't want to live a normal life. And I know the impossible can become reality. Best sis. Oh, thank you. I know that you can make the impossible possible, because I didn't believe years ago, I wouldn't have thought that I could actually bring books to life. Do you know what I mean? Like, this book is brought to life. You can buy it. People can order it in bookshops, you know, like a publisher found this book in an LGBT bookshop actually in London. I mean, when I'm promoting books, like, I have to put these in LGBT category sometimes, because that's what people look for, because asexuality is still part of LGBT plus acronym. That is what it is. Do you know what I mean? So I accept that, you know, even though I know that I want to get it recognised separate as well in its own right. So You shall defy the odds. Yes, Naylor, defy the odds. And another thing that I think I wish I was told when I was like in my teenagers is that life sometimes is meant to be a struggle, because you're meant to use those times of struggle to grow, develop yourself. So when you're a kid and people are like, it's all supposed to be fairy tales, which it can be as well. It's all supposed to be fairy tales. Everything's supposed to go well. Everything's supposed to be good in life and positive. That isn't actually how life is. It's better to know that you're meant to struggle, and that struggles are meant to grow you and develop you as a person. Because if you think, oh, there's meant to be some struggles coming my way, you won't be freaking out when they happen and thinking that there's something wrong with you because everything's not going well for you. Because that's what I used to think years ago. If something wasn't going well, I used to think like, oh my God, stuff's not going well and there must be something wrong with me. What have I done now? What's going on? Life's so bad. But when I started understanding that we're meant to have struggles in life and we're meant to honor those struggles, and they're meant to be to develop and grow ourselves as people, as a person, then life was so much better. Because I'm like, the more we deal with struggles, the more we overcome them, the more we can grow in confidence. George Lucas was poor and had learning problems. People didn't believe in him except one. Ended up creating the biggest, most loved series that ever was. Positively influenced people worldwide, encouraged creativity, and created a school. Was George Lucas the Star Wars guy? Is that this guy who created Star Wars, George Lucas? I haven't watched Star Wars for years. But yeah, it's a lot of the people that are famous and rich, or at least famous, do you know what I mean? They are people that struggled in their life. They're people that were poor. They're people that are destitute, or people that life didn't go well for, people that were bullied. Because it's often the people that have all these tragedies happen when they're younger that they take to help other people later on in life and change the film industry with new animations. Yeah, it's really good, Naylor. And it is these people that change lives, you know? I just won't be in a box, and I just won't not live my dreams. It doesn't matter how much some people pound me or have a go at me or carry on going on and on and on, like you're not realistic, this is happening, that's happening. It's like, I do what I'm born to do. I do what I know is right. I won't stop. Why should I stop living my dream or going for my dreams just because people whatever? Do you know what I mean? I won't do it. They can browbeat me all they want. They can have a go at me all they want. It's not going to change anything. I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing. It's never going to change. You know what I mean? If anything changes, it'll be because I decided to change. But, like I said, I'm going to have to do some things more for sexuals, which is going to be weird for me. But I'm going to use it to my advantage to help asexuals. And that's what obviously I need to do anyway, because there's no way that a heterosexual is going to understand asexuality unless I'm able to put myself in front of thousands of heterosexuals in a way that they understand, that talks their language and helps them at the same time. It's the only way it's going to be done, really. Elvis, born in a shack, poor, doubted, rose up and changed lives with songs. Became a movie star as well. It's really good you're sharing all this, because this is what that's what I was trying to say in The Greatest Showman. There's so many people that they can do the impossible. You really can achieve your dreams. I honestly believe it. I believe 100% in myself. 100%. I got no doubt. Even though I struggle sometimes, because I don't always I know I come across very confident on this channel, but sometimes I do struggle on certain things. But I'm getting better, It's because I was like bullied and put down a lot of my life before. And you've got to remember that, the good thing about being an adult is that you can choose your life and you can choose the way you lead it, and you can be yourself more. But obviously, my life as an adult is very much a kid's life. I'm more of a kid now than I was before. Most people in history that changed the world were the odd ones in society that dreamed. Well, that means I'm going to change the world then, Naylor, definitely. Because I'm very odd. I know, a movie you might like, a street cat named Bob. I don't think I've seen that. I used to watch Top Cat years ago. That was funny. And Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse. Sorry. But yeah, it's true, Naylor. I'm really happy that you're pointing all these things out that, you know, the people who change the world are the ones that are odd and different. Do you know what I mean? Because we can think outside the box. We're just different, and our brains think differently, you know. And you know, just because people are majority doesn't mean to say they're right. A lot of the people that were in the majority of people, they're just going along like robots. They're not dreaming, they're not living, half of them. They're just going along a conveyor belt of life, and I can't be doing that. I just can't be doing with it. You know what I mean? And you know, I think asexuals, some of them, they get quite freaked out that, you know, the world doesn't understand them and can't accept them, which I understand is really hurtful. But you have to understand you've got a special gift, being able to see the world in completely different eyes to other people. So it's not something to be ashamed of, being asexual. It's something that gives you very super different powers, you know. I think honestly that asexuality is a blessing. It's a very different way of thinking about relationships and life, and it is, you know, it takes you off the beaten track, it takes you off the norm, and it puts you in the minority of the stars in the world. You know, it makes you see things that other people can't see. And to be quite honest with you, I think that's a blessing. I think that's a gift from above, to be able to take you out and say, hey, there's some people that don't want sex, there's some people that don't want kids naturally. I mean, I don't have any feelings about wanting to have kids that's natural at all. To me, that's not natural. I know there are some asexuals that do feel that it's still natural. I appreciate that. But what I'm saying is, do you know what I mean? Like, kind of the world's like, everyone thinks it's natural to have kids. It's like, no, not everyone thinks that. You know, I don't think breastfeeding's natural. I don't think having a baby's natural. I don't think any of that is. Quite gross to me, personally. I know there are other asexuals that have it and want it, and that's fine for them. But I just want to make it clear that not everyone in the world likes it. There seems to be like, oh, if you're a female, you want a baby. It's natural. And it's like, no, it's not natural for every female to want a baby. School wasn't made to teach. It was made to break and destroy, to program us. Naylor, you have hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what school is designed to teach, to break and destroy and program us. It's designed to program us and to make us be obedient and to make us conform to society. Those that defy the odds are attacked in many ways, but fight on and eventually change the world. Yes, I agree with you. I was bullied at school for years. I hated school. I hated my life. I used to spend hours crying. But, you know, it has made me stronger. It's made me speak out. It's made me blunt. It's made me, you know, who I am today. So I still wouldn't wish it on myself. You know, some people are like, oh, I'd always have the same life. Well, I'm glad I've got the life I am, but I still wouldn't wish someone to be bullied for years and to be crying all the time and to be pressed. Do you know what I mean? I know now why I went through that, and I know now that I went through all this stuff in my life to bring me to the point I am now, and I'm grateful for it in that way. But it doesn't mean to say I go around thinking, oh, I wish I had all that still, because if I turn the clock back and had to do that again, it would, you know, as that person I was back then, it would feel very soul destroying, you know? I'm surprised, to be honest, I survived all those years in that way, in that mental state, to be quite honest with you. I didn't have any meds. I hate meds. Most of the famous millionaires failed school or never went to college. Yeah, I went to school and I went to college, actually. I preferred college to school. I got on better there. I still didn't really have many friends, but I had more guy friends. Like my first friends there were foreign. Well, there was two blokes who were British, but there was, you know, it was my first foreign friends there. There's four guys in my. I went to college and stayed for 3 years, and it was the last year actually. I did a personal assistant course for a year, and that's when I met these Asian guys, 4 of them, and one of them was so nice to me. He used to go back home and bring me gifts from his country. And it was just so beautiful, you know. I actually made contact with him again last year, I think it was. I managed to find him on social media, on LinkedIn. So I did speak to him now. He's got wife and kids, but he's so much older. It's shocking. Like, I think I was a few years older than me when I met him, but like, he looks like really like a grandfather now. He's really old looking. I was shocked. He looks probably like 30, 40 years older than me. I was absolutely shocked to see him. But I was glad I at least spoke to him, you know, via message, just because Always wondered what had happened to him, you know. But he was one of the most kindest people ever in my life back then, which is why I think I've got this affiliation, this kind of connection with foreign guys, because they were the kindest people, kinder than British people to me at the time. At the time, I'm saying. I might not do college. I want to defy the odds. I want to become a well-known film artist, and I will do it with or without college. Yeah, I mean, college can help you have skill. I want to spread a message. Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to university because I got accepted to one of the top universities in the country and I turned it down. I got accepted to Falmouth College of Arts in the UK to do radio journalism. I turned it down because I didn't want to live there, because I don't like living out in the sticks. I told you I don't like living out in the countryside. It was like out in the sticks near a shipping dock, and I couldn't live there. That's how badly I don't like living out in the sticks. And that's why I said no, because I couldn't live there. I went there and I felt totally isolated, and I can't live here for 3 years plus. I just can't do it. It was out like near the docks, like shipping docks, and I can't do it. And then someone told me later on, the best course you can do is at Falmouth College of Arts. If you can get in there, it's great. I'm like, yeah, I could. I got accepted, but I turned it down. I had to do this exam like piece for them to enter. But I made the right decision. I couldn't have lived there. I learn in ways that they don't teach. How schools teach things makes it hard for me to comprehend. Yeah. Schools are not great at all. I mean, my maths teacher at school, right? He was so bad. He used to bring a guitar into school. So my maths isn't my strong point. My writing is, but not my maths. Because I didn't really learn anything. It was like, here's a textbook, learn this. It's like, but I don't understand the textbook because I don't understand the thing I'm meant to learn that's in the textbook in the first place. And so basically, yeah, he used to bring this guitar into school and start playing the guitar in the middle of maths class. So I didn't learn anything. I learned better on my own with things. I know that I don't work very well as part of a team. I know that might sound weird admitting that, but I don't. I'm much better doing things individualist usually than part of a team. Having said that, obviously, I do like the fact I've got some really good asexual friends now, and they're like my family team, if you know what I mean. So I can be, if it's the right people, I can work really well with them. In terms of work sense, though, actual physical work, I'm usually, much better on my own most of the time. Most of what school teaches is never used, and history doesn't teach us how not to repeat the bad things in history. Yeah, I mean, school is just like, I don't even know what school does really much anymore, you know what I mean? Because it's like school doesn't teach you how to live life. It doesn't teach you life skills. It doesn't really teach you like relationship skills. You know what I mean? They might talk about reproduction, but it doesn't teach you relationship skills. It doesn't teach you assertiveness. It doesn't teach you boundaries. It doesn't teach you how to actually make money and have your own business or to manage money. It doesn't teach you how to stop procrastinating. It doesn't teach you time management skills. It doesn't teach you any life skills, really. I plan to homeschool when I adopt kids. My friend did that, actually. She, for a while her daughter went to school, but her daughter got bullied, so she decided to homeschool her daughter instead. So, yeah, it can work. Her daughter she had when she was really young. She was 17 when she got pregnant, so her daughter's more like her sister. But they get on so well, like so close they are. So, but yeah, that's what she did. It's much better. But I mean, in terms of going to college, you might want to go to college to learn certain skills for filmmaking and stuff, because it does help in some ways. I'm learning marketing skills on my own, but there's certain marketing things that might have helped if I'd have known them at college. I did actually do marketing and media techniques in the leisure and tourism industry. I did that as an additionality to what I was doing, and I did find that really helped actually a bit to understand marketing more, but not in the full sense of like modern marketing as such, but it was advertising specifically, and I really enjoyed doing that additionality. So basically I went into a leisure and tourism class, and I just spent 1 day a week in the class whilst doing my PA course. Very weird. Watch Boy in a Band, Don't Stay in School music vid. He's also British, by the way. Yeah, I mean, in the UK, traditionally you used to leave school at 16, then do college for 2 years till 18, and then go to university. I stayed on college and did college till 19, and I didn't go to university. But I did A levels, media studies, and English literature. I'm glad I went to college actually, because I did learn a lot of useful. Well, yeah, I learnt media stuff. I did learn a lot about the media and about yeah, I liked going to college actually. I did English literature, and it really helped because I did 9 pieces of coursework and I got 5 A's for my own written pieces and 4 B's for criticising other people's work. So I knew then even more that I was brilliant at writing my own stuff, brilliant at it. So that really helped me flourish with my writing. In my mind, I was a lot more confident. But when it came to the exam, we did prose, and I'd hardly studied prose. I'd hardly done any prose in the whole 2 years of my course. And so I end up with a C overall because I didn't understand the prose, really. I didn't do much of it, the whole entire course. So it's like, oh, well. So I end up being a C because coursework, it was like 50% coursework, 50% exam from what I remember. And the exam I didn't do great on, but I did well in the media studies exam. So and Prince EA school videos, they make great points. Oh, that's good if they've got all these points and videos. I mean, it's so true. I know because I'm obviously asexual, known as the asexual entrepreneur. I'm in the entrepreneur field. I know all the stuff that you know because you must watch a lot of the stuff that I watch. Is that school doesn't teach life skills, teaches you how to be and stay poor. Basically, poor in the mind, poor in the spirit, poor in the soul, and poor in the pocket of finances. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't teach you anything. It doesn't teach you about money management. It doesn't teach you relationship skills. It doesn't even teach you really proper communication skills. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't teach you the skills of life. It doesn't do it. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. And so it's much better if you can learn a lot of stuff yourself. It really is. I mean, obviously, the film, you can do online courses. The food is also crap. Apparently, Naila, when I was at primary school, I didn't used to eat school dinners. And I used to pretend I did and tell my parents I did. As far as I know, I didn't, I'm not used to ever hearing myself lie. But apparently I used to say I'd at school dinners when I didn't. So I must have lied back then because I hated them apparently. So I didn't eat them. And the teachers told my parents, but I don't remember not eating it. I don't think I remember much about school actually. All I remember is at primary school I was bullied later on when I was 10. I was very lonely. And then I don't really remember that much because yeah. And there was one boy, right? When I first started primary school, which would have been 5, I think I was, there was this boy, and he was in my class, right? He was sat eating sandwiches next to me. I remember thinking then I don't like ham sandwiches with butter, they taste weird. And later on in my life I stopped eating it. But this boy, I was so sad because they changed schools. He changed schools and I never saw him again. I was sat next to him, and seriously, it was like an asexual relationship. I remember back then, at the age. Don't forget, I had a boyfriend at the age 6, and I didn't want to do sexual stuff with him at 6. So just because I'm talking about being 5 years old is not that unrealistic in terms of relationship feelings, because I knew from 6 about relationships and stuff, and I was kissing passionately at 6 a boy who was my boyfriend at the time, and then he wanted to do sexual stuff and I didn't like it. I felt really uncomfortable and horrible. It's a horrible experience. So when I was 5 years old, there was this boy who had just joined school and he was sat next to me eating his lunch, and it was totally one of those bestest ever friendships. Felt so comfortable in his company. And he would have been like, had I known him when I was older, it was the same type of relationship, he would have been the type of guy it would have been great to have an actual relationship with in the feeling sense. Do you know what I mean? Because it was one of those, I guess, I don't experience platonic attraction, but I guess it would be more platonic feelings. It would be more of a friendship type of relationship. And I just remember I was so fond of him as a really close friend back then. And it really broke my heart when he had to leave. And I never know what happened to him. And I just always kind of wish now I did. But I guess I wouldn't be attracted to him now anyway, because he'd probably turn out to be heterosexual. He'd be roughly the same age as me in birth certificate age, and I'm attracted to younger guys anyway. Food, mental food, they give us crap, and physical food, they give us crap. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I agree with all that. I agree with all that. School is not good. I hated school. I really, elementary school was harsh and evil to break and destroys kids at an early age. Middle school isn't as bad. High school, they care about you because you're almost done being molded. Well, in the UK, we have, well, when I was there, I had primary school, secondary school, and college, and then could go on to university if I wanted to. So that was it for me. I went to school and college. So at 16, I left school and went to college for 3 years because I stayed on and did an extra year. So I did A levels for 2 years, then I did an NVQ level 4 diploma in administrative procedures / personal assistance course, and I did some computer qualifications at the same time, and additionality, marketing, media techniques, and I dropped biology. So the A levels I did, A levels media studies, English literature, I did biology for a year, and everyone left the biology apart from me and 2 blokes because the teacher was rubbish. A level. And after a year, I just dropped it and I did a CLATE course, computer literacy and information technology. I just couldn't stand doing biology. It was too much chemistry for me by then. I was good at biology at school. I loved it, but chemistry I wasn't fond of at all. And it was all chemistry a lot of it at A level, so I just didn't get it really. Yeah, I mean, school is just like, they don't encourage you really in your goals, ambitions, and dreams of life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think English teachers encouraged me actually. I have fond memories of anything to do with English, which is probably why I love writing so much, because I remember, like, even my mum said, oh, your teachers, like, probably when I'm a bit older though, much older, did they start saying, you know, like, oh, your teacher said you're good at writing, you write these really good stories, Sandra's really good at writing stories. And so I guess I got positive feedback about my writing, and I've always liked writing, but not as much as I do now. I like writing more than ever. School is prison. Yeah. I even remember thinking that. I even remember thinking, God, I'd love to escape sometimes out the school gates, but then I just get told off, so there's no point. But yeah, I remember when I was at secondary school, we were allowed out for lunch. We were allowed out downtown to go walkabouts, I think, from what I remember. Go around the town a bit when you're in the last year, I think it was. But yeah, school is like prison. I didn't like it. I love art, music, Ella, and lunch. What's Ella? What's ELA? Well, I liked English at school. I was good at English and art at school, but even though I didn't, lots of subjects I didn't want to take, but ended up being good at, like art, I got a B for, which I didn't even, but I can't do, I'm good at still life, but I can't really draw people. I'm no good at drawing people. So I'm good at drawing still life, but not people. Wish I could just dance for gym instead of doing sports, and I'd love to work out. Oh, I love doing dance. I did dance classes. Ella, English language arts. Oh, right, okay. I love dancing. It's cool. I love dancing. But I like freestyle dancing. I did actually ballroom dancing at when I was at school, was it? I did ballroom dancing in the evenings whilst I was still at school. I did ballroom dance classes only for a short time because I didn't have an actual partner. My dad did it, I think, once with me. I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And then I think I was doing it with the instructor, the older guy instructor. It just felt weird. I'm like, no, I don't really like this. I don't think I stayed very long. But you know, I've done freestyle disco dancing. You know, I've got bronze in freestyle disco dancing, right? I did that as an adult. I took a exam in it and got highly commended. So yeah, I like and I did Irish Appalachian dancing for fun as well. I used to. But yeah, freestyle disco dance is my thing. I can't wait to dance with my boyfriend. Yeah, I love dancing with a guy, but I also like having my own space as well. But yeah, I love dirty dancing, which is very sexual in behaviour, which is not what stereotypically asexuals are meant to like, is it? But I do. I love dirty dancing. I'll be 18 in several months. Oh, happy birthday to you. Yes, it's really good. I like you. Have you ever seen the film Dirty Dancing? The actual film Dirty Dancing is the dancing I like to do. I love doing that type of dancing. Dirty Dancing is like one of my favourite films. And Grease. I love Grease, the musical. You know, you know, on disc I've got I've always loved Grease and Dirty Dancing. Yes. So Dirty Dancing, those dance moves, that's what I love to do. I love grinding. Mum owns it. It's good. But they're very sexual moves, but I love it. Even though I'm asexual, I just love dancing like that. I just think it's quite nice. Oh, you love Grease too? Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah, I love those. I love all the Step Up movies. I fancy most of the blokes. Young guy, isn't it? Ah, dear. Step Up movies. I've got quite a lot of them, which I've done movie review before on here. I like guys who wear street clothes. I like street dancing. They're very gorgeous. A lot of the guys in those films, they're really beautiful guys, the young guys. But I love all that type of thing, you know. I love street dance. I love the music. I love the modern music, the hip hop, beatboxing, all that type of thing. It's really cool. And yeah, I do like Dirty Dancing moves. I love that type of. I love grinding. It's not what most asexuals know. I like dancing. You like dancing asexy as well. Oh, cool. Yeah, I like dancing asexy. If we mean the same thing. So basically, I just dance sexily anyway because I just like dancing and I just happen to dance sexily. But obviously, guys think it means I want sex, and it's like, no, I don't want sex. I just like dancing sexily. Just the way I like to dance, you know, because I like feeling the beat of the music. I like moving my hips. I like getting into the rhythm of things. Do you know what I mean? But I can't sexy dance with. I mean, I sexy dance on my own a lot, but I can't like, you know, if I want to get up close with someone, it has to be someone I'm really aesthetically attracted to, which I don't think a lot of people understand. But you know, like so far, I've only been able to dance really, really close with 2 Indian guys. That's it. I haven't been able to dance really close. There's one guy I got a little bit close to once, but you know, I couldn't really get that close to him. Not like the 2 Indian guys are different because I'm really attracted to Indian guys. I can't think about Indian guys so badly. I just feel really comfortable. I'm sure my soulmate's Indian. I know I've got an Indian soulmate somewhere. I don't know where the heck he is. Really, I don't. But anyway, one day he'll show up in my life. This Indian asexual guy who likes an older girl, who's not really older because I'm older in birth certificate age, but you put me and a younger guy together and you'd probably think that they were the older one than me because they like older stuff usually. I usually track guys that are younger with older souls. So they're the ones that like the Beatles and Rolling Stones and all that type of older music. And I'm the one that's there going, I like dance and club music. Let's party. Whoop, whoop. I'm one of the rare aces that has a questionable mind. It's good. I really like that about you, Naylor. You think a lot, and like me in some of the things you say. Not all the things we do agree on, but we, you know, we have to have differences. Everyone has to be different, don't they? But yeah, we do have a lot of similarities in some of the things we talk about and think, and it's good. I have a huge questionable mind. I've got a very journalistic mind. That's why I love journalism, actually. And that type of thing in media. I do actually like the media, you know. I think media is really important to use that to your advantage. Really important. But yeah, I love dancing. I love sexy dancing. It's really good. But I can't sexy dance with just anyone. But I do a lot of sexy dancing on my own. It's like the last time I went out dancing for half the night, I was dancing with the best person in the whole of the club, and it was myself in the mirror. It's really funny. I was dancing like really sexily in front of the mirror of myself, and then these other women decided that they wanted to dance sexily in front of the mirror with each other. They were kind of copying. It's fun. Yeah, it is fun. It is really fun, you know, like when you feel the beat of the music, like you should be swinging your hips anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like the night I go on Tuesdays, which I don't go to all the time, but when I do go, it's salsa night, you know? So salsa is all about swinging your hips. Do you know what I mean? It's sexy dancing. I love dancing sexy because it gives me confidence. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I like dancing sexy as well because it just comes naturally. It's what I'm meant to do. Do you know what I mean? It's just like the way my body is, you know? It's good you feel good about yourself, you know? Because obviously when I go out clubbing, I'm around girls who are like 19, 20, maybe 21 most of the time. And a lot of them are very skinny girls, but I'm not. So, I just like, but I'm very confident, and I just make sure I'm confident when I go there, because like last time I was there was this guy who had a girlfriend. And I think she got a bit jealous of me because he was around me with his friend. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend, but he was there with his bloke friend. And they came up to me and they were just being nice, like doing a bit of dancing, not close to me, just like mate dancing, like they've got space in between me and them. And then he just seemed to get on really well with me. And he was going, you should try on my cap. And he was giving me his cap and stuff like that to try on. But the girl, she looked like she was getting a bit jealous because he said something to her. And then she's like trying to dance with me as well. So I was dancing with her, because I don't want her to feel jealous. Like I'm not that type of person that tries to get women jealous. I don't believe in that. But I just think that she was only dancing with me because he told her to dance with me. Because later on, they both came back again and she started dancing, but he was there as well. And I think he was like, oh, let's go and dance with her because she's on her own. Do you know what I mean? But you could tell by her face that she wasn't too happy about dancing with me. So it was kind of more of a sort of half smile, if you know what I mean. But you know what I mean? I think her boyfriend just got a bit bored sometimes and wanted to come over and see me to just like have a different vibe sometimes, to be honest. I don't really think he fancied me or anything like that necessarily. I just think he was attracted to being around a different person just to do something a bit different because I think he was just getting a bit bored. So yeah, it's very interesting. Because when I go clubbing, most of the guys and girls there are in the early 20s in birth certificate age. So they're the age group I feel most comfortable around because that's in my mindset what I believe I am. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I have to be very, very confident to go there and do a lot of dancing. I dance in front of everyone. Like when I first get there, like there's hardly anyone on the dance floor, and I go on the stage bit and I'm like dancing away in front of everyone. Sometimes they clear the whole floor. Like last time, they all dispersed. It was just me at one point dancing on the dance floor in front of everyone in the pub. Well, it's a pub/club because it's a pub in the week and it turns into a club. So it's just like me on this one side of the dance floor and everyone else had just moved. And I'm like, oh, are you getting out of my way because you're just like, oh, she's doing loads of crazy dancing? Or are you like, just because you want to take a break? But I'm like, don't worry about them. Doesn't matter what they are doing. Sandra, all you need to do is focus on your dancing and be in the zone. It doesn't matter what people think. Carry on. Kind of flattering. Yeah, I thought it was flattering because some of the younger guys, they do actually like, being around me because they know I'm very confident and they know I'm just here to have a good time. And they like that about me. Like some guys are like, some guys are really surprised when I start dancing back with them. They're like, oh, right, she's dancing back. Oh, this is so cool, man. Do you know what I mean? And I think they are a bit taken aback because I think they might notice I'm a little bit older than them. And I don't think they all notice it because like once I wore a different top and skirt and these girls, I think it was like, it wasn't the official Freshers Week, but I think it was one or 2 weeks before actual Freshers Week, when they take, I don't know if it's called the same thing in the USA, but when they have new people come on board for university, they have like Freshers Week, like they all go out together and socialize. So I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks before the official week, and they were like nearly all university students. And so when I was there, these girls were saying, oh, you're on your own, and like one of them was going, oh, you're so brave, you're so confident, I wish I had your confidence to go out on my own like that. It's so good. And it was really nice to hear that. And then she's like, oh, what are you studying? Because she thought I was at university as well. I said, oh no, I'm not studying, I'm an author actually. And she's like, oh, my friend's like studying like English. So she brought her friend over and they started talking to me. So I think they thought I was like 21, which was great. And you have fibro, so it's even more of a message for people to be themselves and fight back. Thank you. Thank you, Naila. Yes, I do have fibromyalgia, which I manage very well. And I did do some recordings of me being out and put it on my FIBRO GIRL page on Facebook, actually, because I want people to know not to let their limits limit them. It's really, really important. Don't let your limits limit you. You can do anything you want in life. Like most people with fibro, they can't go clubbing, especially not be out till 2 a.m. When I go clubbing, when I go to this place, I don't stop. I am there till 2 a.m. I book the taxi for 2:10 when I've come out. Then I go home. So I'm there for usually 3 hours at a time. I don't, like sometimes I go to the toilet and I spend a few minutes in the toilet and then I, dry myself a little bit and, like I have like 2 minutes, like stopping time or whatever, 2 or 3 minutes. But then, like sometimes I eat food in there because I have low blood sugar, so I have to keep food in my bag. So sometimes I take my bag, I drink more water in the toilet, and I sometimes about 1.5 hours later, I'll start eating a snack. And then when I go to the toilet, because I've had a few minutes rest, a few minutes on the toilet and getting myself, it's like a little bit of a rest. When I come out again, I'm like jumping up and down like a mad girl again. You know what I mean? It's like energy reboost. So I go off, I think, okay, I need to go off to the toilet now. And you kind of like, I stay there for a couple of minutes sometimes. They must be like, what the hell's she doing in the loo? It's not always a couple of minutes, but it's a little bit longer than the average person would go. Because I usually have to, like I said, eat something, take some water in. I kind of just try and go, take a bit of sweat off me. And then I'm just like, it's like I'm getting my energy back. And then when I go out there, I've got so much more energy again. And I just go jumping up and down, boing, or whatever I do. I plan to go to a rave when I finally get to go to a furry convention. Just be careful of drugs, because in the UK, they have drugs at every rave. I don't take drugs. I don't agree with them. We'll never, ever have them. If I ever went to a rave, I would never do drugs. But they are well known in the UK for doing drugs like speed and stuff at it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to do that or you're going to do it, but yeah, you're like me. I love partying minus sex, drugs, and alcohol. Yeah, you're like me. Exactly. Obviously, you're your own person and you can choose not to do that. Just be careful, obviously, with people spiking your drinks and all sorts of things and trying to get you to do stuff you don't want to do. Like when I went to Paris years ago, I haven't told people this on my channel, I don't think. When I went to Paris years ago, I went with an ex, not the last long-term ex that you know about, a different long-term ex years ago. And we went to Paris. Paris itself, I wasn't very impressed with it, to be quite honest with you. I thought it was just like another city. It was boring to me. I know most people will be like, why were you bored with Paris? It's such a romantic place. I was bored with it. Right? I thought it was just like the same as any other city. It's boring. I like Disneyland Paris, but I'm not all about Paris itself. And when we were there was this guy who was like trying to show us around because we weren't sure where we were going. And he was offering us drugs. This guy, he didn't look like a druggie. To be fair to him, he didn't look like a druggie. He wasn't a typical, looked like he was off his head on drugs or looked like he was a bad guy. He was presentable, young guy. But he was offering us drugs. And I'm like, no, I don't touch them, thank you. Hashtag, I'll have caffeine though. Hashtag soda. I don't have any caffeine. I got rid of caffeine out of my life years ago. Don't have alcohol. Don't have caffeine. Drink herbal tea. Don't have any of that. I don't need caffeine. So, when I go out dancing, I don't have caffeine. Just to throw that out there. So, I have fibromyalgia. I go out dancing, jump up and down like a crazy girl, and I don't have caffeine. And I don't take meds for fibro. And I just live life to the max. And, there's guys who sometimes are in their birth certificate age 20s and they're knackered and they need to, like, the guy who's a hypersexual heterosexual that I've danced with before, who likes my dance and gets a thrill out of it, he has to go home a bit earlier because he's too knackered, he's too tired, and he can't keep up with me. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't got the same amount of energy that I've got. I'm going to check up on my boyfriend. I'll chat tomorrow because may peace and love light be your way. May peace and love light your way. Oh, thanks, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to conclude tonight's video. I was just having a good chat with you there. So anyway, if anyone wants to check out The Great Showman, please do. And hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Thanks for the chat, Naylor. Thanks to everyone else who's been watching. I know there's been someone else watching the whole time this show. Please give this video a thumbs up. It does help to get the videos recognized for asexuality, gets them up in search engine rankings. And definitely check out The Great Showman. It's all about being different, living your dreams, being born, born to do what you were born to do, born to live your dreams, and go and be you. Don't matter what anyone else says in society. Doesn't matter whoever else tries to stop your dream. Keep the dream alive and go for it. Don't live a normal life. Live the beautiful, unconventional, super life that you are meant to lead. And go out there and be beautiful you, just as you are. you know. The whole story is, you know, this is me. I'm brave, I'm bruised. It's who I really am. It's me. And that's the important message, you know. It doesn't matter what baggage you have in life, what's ever happened to you in life, you're still beautiful you. And it's all those different times in your life that has molded you and shaped you into who you are today. And that was a very strong, powerful person in and of your own right, not because you're perfect, but because you aren't, because you're perfectly imperfect. And so always, always, always be you and live your dreams. You know, if anyone puts you down and says you can't live your dreams, don't believe them. Don't listen to them. This is your life. This is not their life. You need to look back on your deathbed and have no regrets. Not them. You have to look back on your deathbed and have no regrets. If you listen to what everyone else says, society says, your family says, parents says, friends says, peers says, teachers says, what everyone else says that it doesn't support you, if you listen to any of those people, you'll regret it for you. You'll be browbeaten down, you know, pushed into being something you're not, right? Whether they mean well or whether they don't, it doesn't matter. The actual fact is you can do what you want to do in life. You can be who you were born to be. You can live the type of life you want to lead. Does it require hard work? Yes. Is it going to be easy? No. But that's the beauty of life, you know? Nothing's going to be easy that you really, really want badly. But that's the whole point. You've got to use every bit of strength within you to fight through life and to come out on top. Come out on the winner of your own dreams. Doesn't matter whether your dreams are small or big, but dream bigger. That's what I'd always say, you know, start with the dream, but dream big and big and big. Don't limit yourself to having small, minor dreams, you know. Have as big a dreams as you want and take action to go and get those dreams. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Don't let anyone tell you nothing is possible. Like Nada was saying, you know, the light bulb and stuff like that. Someone had to invent that, didn't they? Someone had to invent everything in life, you know? It all starts with imagination, a dream, and then action. Anyway, go and get The Greatest Showman. Go and rent it, buy it, see it. It's absolutely fabulous film. It's about being different, living your dreams, and being who you're born to be, because this is me. Love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. As always, please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I really, really appreciate the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit that great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other. I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Take care. Lots of love. Take care. Bye. Bye.